Hi everybody, it's Lori. Welcome to my studio. I'm so glad you're here. Today I'm going to be using Loft's Flow Acrylic White in this painting on the background and a little bit in the rest of the painting, I think. Also, I'm going to be using Loft Flow Acrylic Black, and my formulas are all going to be in the description of the video below. So you can look there for the pouring medium and all that, and also these colors. I have some golden iridescent gold fine. It's one of my favorite golds. Arteza, their pearls are beautiful. I'm using pearl rose in this one. I'm keeping it pretty simplistic again with the colors. But I have an Artist Loft 12 by 12 inch canvas here. It's a thin regular base 3/4 inch deep. I've taped it up. I've got it on my spinner, and I'm planning on doing a ninja swipe with a little bit of a spin out later. So I've just sped up putting the base coat on. I wanted to show you how I did that, just in case some of you are wondering. I don't like it too thick when I'm doing one of these, because I don't want to lose a lot of my composition that I've built up by spinning it out later on. So I don't want to have too much paint on the canvas for that. I kind of think, I've never really spun out one of these before, but that's okay. But I think what's going to happen is I'm going to like most of what I've got, and the spin out is just going to kind of level out the paint, make sure there's not too much on there, and kind of pull things together a little bit at the end. But I'm also using my torch there to to pop all the bubbles that are in the paint, because even though I didn't mix it today, I shook it up today, so I need to get rid of those bubbles. I don't really want a lot of bubbles coming up later on, and things will, especially the white will pop through and leave little white specks all over the place. But I'm starting off with my black. I thought about, I'm changing my mind as I go along. I think what I'm going to do is just kind of mess around and plop down some paint. But I decided I'm going to put it all at this one end so that I can swipe it up through the rest of the canvas. And there's some gold. I want a lot of gold in there because with this one, this gold, it doesn't really take over the painting like some of them can, but that's kind of why I wanted it. I wanted it to stay basically in one place. I didn't want it to sparkle out through the whole thing. Just the sparkle a little bit here and there, and you'll see that, it really didn't overtake the canvas at all. And the pink, I wanted to also separate from the black because I didn't want to lose some of the vibrant pink. The rose there, the pearl rose. So I've got the pearl and the gold, which are both going to have some sparkle to them at the end. I've got them put down together. And then a little bit of white just to brighten things up a little bit on top, because I don't want anything getting too dark and dull. But I'm going to get rid of those bubbles too, because again, I shook those paints up, and I did mix the rose just up today, so it had some serious bubbles in it, but it's all easily taken care of with a little bit of the torch, as long as you don't over torch. So I've got my cake froster there, which I use for this to kind of move the paint along. I never know where exactly I'm going to end up with this when I start. I kind of go with the feel and the flow of it as I go along, and you can see I'm speeding things up here. I've got a plan now. I'm on a roll. So let's keep going. Get all that paint. I don't want blobs of color in the bottom. I wanted it kind of all over the place in the canvas. I'm thinking of leaving this a little bit more organic than my previous ninja swipes too. Not quite as much embellishment, but we'll see how it goes along as I get into it. I like to go into my paintings with some kind of a plan, but I don't want to be too stuck on that plan, because as anybody knows that does this kind of painting, that you're going to get what you're going to get, and you can't be too stuck on your plan, or else you're never going to be happy with what you get in the end. because you got to kind of go with the flow and what the paint decides to do too. So I'm spinning it out just a little bit to start, and just to see where the paint's going and what's happening with the composition and what's going on. And I'm thinking, you know, you got to stop and think. Fortunately for you, I cut out a lot of the thinking parts when I edited the video, because there was a lot of thinking that went along in this, and before each move there was time where I was thinking, where do I want to go? What do I want to do? Because, well, I'll tell you more about that later, but I really do like what's happening here. It's really surprising, but I don't know. I just, I didn't really know what I was going to end up with and where I was going to go, but I'm kind of liking this look. I really think that, looking at it again now, it's almost kind of like a crazy forest too, but trying to decide here and think about the fact of, am I going to do a lot of embellishing, little embellishing, what am I going to do? But I decided that there really wasn't enough color. I really they blended together a little bit more than I wanted in some points. I wanted to see a little more of the rose. So I dipped my popsicle stick into the paint, leaving some on the tip of the stick so that as I run it through the painting, it will kind of run off the stick and leave a little bit of a line there. Nothing major. I don't want blobs of paint, but I kind of wanted a little bit more of the rose where it was just rose without being mixed in with the other colors. I wanted a little bit more definition of the color, I guess you could say. So I kind of just went through and ran it through wherever I felt it would balance the painting out. This part here is a part where there was a lot of thinking in between each one of those touches with the popsicle stick. So there's a lot of cutting in and cutting out. I didn't leave it all there for you to see, but I wanted to give you an idea of my thought pattern as I was going through this. So I'm thinking here that it's pretty balanced, and I kind of like the pink, and I'm putting in some black because I wanted a little bit of sharper black. Since the black was in the squirt bottle, I just squirted out a puddle there on my puppy pad that I have on top of my spinner and put my popsicle stick in there in order to get just enough on the stick to drop a little bit here and a little bit there so that I could get a little more definition. And I'm really pleased at how this is going, because there's a lot of gray, which is fine. I don't mind the gray at all, but I kind of wanted to see some real black too. So, and again, there was a lot of thought going on in my head in between each of these touches and putting the black in. Where do I want to go next? Do I want any more? I had to work through my own mind that I had a little bit more idea of modifying more than I actually am. So as I'm putting these more defined lines through it, I'm wondering, am I going to leave this as is in this more organic look? Am I going to modify and use my skewer and do some swirlies and some other lines? Not sure, but the more I do with this, the more I like the organicness of it and the definition of these lines that I'm putting through it. Really enjoying it. And there it is. I decided to leave it like that. I really am happy with it. I hope you like it. I hope by talking you through my thought patterns a little bit, it helped a little bit for you to kind of understand where I'm going when I'm doing these things. I will show you this, as I will with all of my paintings later on, once it's dry and resined, and those colors should really pop with the sparkle of the pearl rose and the gold. Anyway, I hope you liked the video. If you like it, please do press that thumbs up button. I would really appreciate that. And if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. It really helps out a lot, and it feels kind of good. I'll tell you, I got to be honest. And thanks to all of you who have subscribed already. I really appreciate you guys. I love you all. Don't forget to take some time for yourselves. Don't be so busy and crazy with your responsibilities that you don't take some little self-care for you, because it's too important, especially in the world the way it is today. Self-care is no longer a luxury, it's a necessity. So take care. Again, like, subscribe, share the video if you feel that you would like to. I would really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.